I did.
No.
I'd like to go. Is it recording?
Yes.
Are you crazy positive?
There is a red circle.
Okay.
Alright.
Ichi, put away the phone.
Alright.
I can play and panel at the same time. I'll just turn the volume down.
Well, you want to start it like we usually do?
Panel! Itashimasu! Please stay behind the non-existent line.
Which means stay in your chairs.
Please keep all hands and legs in the vehicle at all times.
While the ride is going.
No.
Pretty much.
God, cheers.
I don't know. No, I actually do. Hello, everybody, to Super Sentai, 40 years and counting.
Woo!
Hello to Super Sentai. That's M grammar excellente.
Hashtag confirmation.
Gar, I do love how you put it, 40 years and counting. Watch it get canceled this weekend. Next weekend.
A Castranger tradition design.
There is a rumor that they are starting to wind down, and that good 40 years
Don't jinx it.
Don't
not.
jinx it.
We'd be out of a job.
Well, alright, we should introduce ourselves. My name is Gar. I am Yellowcaster, part of Radio Sentai Castranger.
Maybe we should explain what that is first.
How about later?
How about I just do that now? Radio Sentai Castranger is pretty much a podcast made by most of us up here. We're from Toronto. Every week we talk about, we review in a comedic style the ongoing episodes of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. And for those who don't know, think Power Rangers but with better writing. Most of the time. Very large asterisk on that. So yeah, he's Gar Yellowcaster. I'm Ishida Zazil Bluecaster.
Who are you,
You
Lane?
can call me Ichi for short.
I'm Lane, but also I'm Pinkcaster Lightshade. Hello.
Take this in your face.
What's
Hi,
up? I'm
I'm
Cell,
Lane.
actually, that is my name, and I'm the Northcaster Saga. Get it?
No, just no.
So yeah, we are just here to, I don't know, ramble for an hour.
Yay.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions
About Sentai.
about Sentai? Yes.
Sorry?
If you're a Sentai, where are your morphers?
Hidden.
You'll get to see them when the Castranger video game comes out.
Oh.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
actually making
spoilers. Yeah, spoilers. Major spoilers.
Gar, why don't you tell us how you got into Sentai? You set this all up.
Oh, thank you very much.
Should we maybe preface on what Super Sentai is for anyone who does? Is there anyone who doesn't know what Super Sentai is?
No?
Good, we can skip that.
All right. All right. How I got into Sentai was actually from Lewis's History of Power Rangers videos. I'm actually gonna hold the mic. But in which he actually mentioned the Legendary War. I didn't know anything about it, and then I found out about the Go-Kaiger ending theme, where they like list off every team at that point. Started with Go-Kaiger, then moved on to Go-Busters, and I've been watching ever since.
Much in the same way, I found Sentai way later than I like to admit. I didn't know that Sentai was a thing until like high school. And it was just this offhand comment about Power Rangers, because when I stopped watching Power Rangers as a kid, I stopped. I just didn't care anymore. I care now, so yeah. But
It's because we made you care.
yeah, you did. Hard. But when I got back, when I just saw, oh yeah, that's a thing based off the Japanese footage. Sorry, the what now? And I just saw, I think it was Ranger was the first thing I ever saw. I was like, this is a thing. I could not believe what I was seeing. For my whole life, I didn't know that had come from there. And I started liking it. Thanks, Ichi. I didn't want to.
I love you, so. I, like most people, grew up watching Power Rangers. I stopped watching when they changed to Disney because I no longer had access to the shows on the TV I had at home. But also like a lot of people, I was introduced to Sentai around the time Go-Kaiger started, because at that time I'd been watching Kamen Rider, the sister series, because I've been watching Rider every week since Kiva started airing in 2008, like without fail. So because I pay attention to tokusatsu related news feeds, around the time Go-Kaiger started and I saw the scans for it, the thing that got me watching Sentai was the fact that the Red Ranger's name was Captain Marvelous. I was like, oh my god, I have to know who this is. And then I found out, oh, it's an anniversary series. You get to see like all the previous teams, and I'm like, okay, this looks cool. So I got to know all the teams through Go-Kaiger, and I've been watching Sentai every week since Go-Kaiger started as well. And then, by merit of where we are today, we love it so much that we started a podcast for it.
For me, I got into Power Rangers as a kid, but I stopped watching when Ninja Storm started just because I was like, it looks bad, so I just stopped. But one day in high school, I saw a video on YouTube and it said Super Sentai, but I saw Wild Force on it, and I was like, what's this? So I clicked on it, and it was literally from the Gal Ranger Super Sentai anniversary movie, where just one of the Super Sentai Red Rangers is like, here, we're here to help you, and you just see 20 other Red Rangers show up, and I'm like, who are these guys? And then I found out, oh, Sentai...
Power Rangers New Powers.
And then I found out, many more Power Rangers used footage from Super Sentai, and I was like, wait, so we didn't make that? Oh. I'm like, okay, and then I started watching, I think, Shinkenger was the first actual full series I watched, but then I started watching with Gokaiger. So
The mic should be in front of your mouth.
To quickly, my favorite Super Sentai right now is Tokyuger. It's fun. It's stupid, but you find out why. So
For the record, his favorite rider series is Forze, so...
no, it's Drive. Screw you.
Take his opinion with a grain of salt. Just kidding, love you.
But we should just quickly say which our favorite Sentai is. I haven't seen a lot of them, but out of what I've watched, I would say Kyoryuger is my favorite, just because I love their suit designs, and there's 11 Rangers. I love the shows that have more than just the 5 or 6 team.
Yep.
Kaku Ranger, just the best thing ever.
It's very fun.
I'm gonna be the obscure guy and say Live Band from 1988.
You bastard.
He is the Sentai hipster of this, that's why he's running it.
Exactly.
Yeah, into the ground.
Well, if you saw the audience, then yeah,
Into the
you
ground,
really
apparently.
understand. Hey, at least my panel's doing better than the Cast Ranger panel.
That is nowhere near our fault.
Let's not talk about it. So does anyone have any Sentais they like?
Anyone want to share how they got into it, what their favorite show is?
You start in the front with the Forza driver.
No. Person in the back with the glasses.
Well,
How should I do this? Just stand up?
Yep.
Sure.
Alright. So for me, I grew up in Orlando, Florida, right?
Whoa.
And we had this local TV network for Japanese tourists. And when I was growing up, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was the hit new thing, right? In 1993, 4, whatever it was.
93 is when it came out.
93.
Yep.
And so as a kid, I tuned in. I was flipping through channels and found the Japanese, network, and they were showing old episodes of Jew Ranger. And at the time, I thought it was just Power Rangers because obviously I'm a kid. And I'm like, why are these people speaking a language I have no idea? I see Rita here, but they're speaking Spanish or something.
Please refrain from
So
into the mic.
so that was my first real exposure to it, but I didn't really get into it until around high school when, thanks to the internet, I discovered fan subs and all that. And Maji Ranger was really the first one that I really got into, and I would say that
I watched all of Magic Ranger in a weekend. That show was great.
it's a great show. And I would say
Did you see the Magic Yellow cosplayer out today?
Yeah.
It's funny,
We'll tell that story in a minute. Actually, I have something that I just thought of that kind of pertains to that. Most people, especially in our age group, we just didn't discover Sentai was a thing until about high school level, I want to say.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested to know, in the day and age we live in now with the internet and all, any Power Ranger fans right now, when are they going to know? How much earlier? And then will that change the perspective of it all?
They will
I'm
discover
honestly curious.
They will discover Sentai the first time they decide to wiki Power Ranger things.
Which is a thing they would do.
Exactly.
They'll find out once they realize Saban's running out of ideas.
Are they turning Ninja into a game show type format? That's great.
I am actually.
Anything to change what they did with Ninja already. Anything's
I am actually very excited to see how Ninja Steel turns out.
Yes.
Just a heads up, we all hate Ninja up
Yes.
here.
To sum up Ninja. The cowboy was the best part of that show.
Early forgot to learn how to
If you know me if you listen to our show, you know me. I'm the most vocal about this. That stupid hamburger morpher.
No, the hamburger
I hate
morpher's
that.
the best thing ever, and
It is
they better
awful.
show have it for
It is
Ninja Steel.
stupid. It is racist. So no, it won't show up.
Is it better or worse than the sushi morpher, which is a rice block cell phone with a piece of meat on it?
No, they're both stupid. I didn't say one was better than the other.
The Cowboy Ranger of the team had a hamburger morpher, and when he defeated a monster, he took a selfie of it with it before it died.
And then
No, he would take the selfie first, then destroy it.
He was literally American too, so
No, he tried to be American, but they have a Japanese actor, so it's kind of diluted.
No,
Also, they have
the
a-
Japanese actor was from North America, apparently.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't?
No,
that's
he's Japanese.
You're thinking of Jiraiya from Kaku Ranger.
Or Kyoryu Cyan. That guy, the Cyan Ranger from Kyoryu, or the Aqua Ranger, the actor who played him in the Japanese version, Robert Baldwin, is half Canadian.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
He owns a bar in Japan.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But should we tell that story?
yeah, we'll tell that. It was a funny story earlier today. If you haven't seen him around, there's a really good cosplayer of Magi Yellow walking around here. Like the helmet's
AKA
great.
Yellow Mystic Force.
Yeah. So we're in the lobby, me and Chris over there, and I'm just like, "Hey, Magi Yellow!" He's like, "I gotta get a picture." So he just starts yelling at him, "Magi Yellow!" Doesn't turn around. Magi Yellow! I just turn to him and go, "Maybe he watches Power Rangers."
Yellow
Mystic!
Ranger?
Yellow Ranger? Hello? Just damn! I'd like to know if he just honestly didn't hear us or he just didn't know what Magi Yellow was. That's another thing too. Like when I tell friends about Sentai, they're like, "What do you mean, Power Rangers?" No. And then I also hear people go, "You mean animated porn?" No.
Oh no! That's one letter.
I don't know what these guys are talking about with like spandex and stuff. Like there was a typo.
Oh yeah, there's
Both things involve spandex.
No, it's not animated porn at all. It's about monsters and people in tight clothing and.
So it is porn.
No.
They're on to me.
Well, I mean, Akiba Ranger had a porn actress as the villain, so...
But that was
You want to know one of the most disillusioning things ever? Anyone who really, really liked Tommy as the White Ranger should very much look up Kiba Ranger, his Japanese counterpart. He was a small child who misused his powers greatly. He went around skateboarding and using his powers to blow up girl skirts.
No,
Number one, that was only.
Tommy, everyone.
No. And what's funny is at the end of an episode where like they have like because he's a kid or whatever like that. It's like the Pink Ranger's like, "Are you gonna be a good boy?" And it's like, I don't need the mic. I have a loud voice.
Yes, you do.
Fair.
It's like, "Oh, are you gonna be a good boy?" "Yeah, of course." Proceeds to grab her chest immediately and go, "Ha!" runs off
90
and-
Sentai.
Yeah, I'm like, this is Sentai, everybody.
I wonder why that footage didn't make it into Power Rangers.
I think people would be weird.
Actually, like you guys were talking about how the cosplayer, the Yellow Ranger cosplayer, was very specifically focused on Power Rangers.
I'd like to stress, I'm guessing
Oh, you're
because,
guessing.
but
But
if
like-
it were the
He's a
case,
part of the
It is
Toronto
possible
Power
he didn't hear
Rangers.
me.
I know well, not for a fact, but I do know that there are people who either stick to Power Rangers and just completely ignore Sentai, or people who watch only Sentai and almost completely ignore Power Rangers. But yet, like, what
Are you saying
they're both essentially the same thing?
Are you saying it's possible that this guy heard me say Magio and purposefully ignored me?
That would be amazing.
Why isn't he here?
Yeah, where's Magio?
Because
Maybe.
maybe next year we should just call it Power Rangers 21, whenever
I
the
told
hell
you, you should have
years
both
later.
names in the title.
No.
See, to me, it's an interesting thing too when you find people who like are just one or the other. See, I go for both. I'll admit I can watch Power Rangers easier just because it's in English. I can just listen to it and I know
both
what's
ways.
going on. It works. It does work. But there are people who just don't do one or the other. Like most of the time, it's for unfortunate reasons. Like either if they only watch Power Rangers, I just don't want to hear Japanese people talking. If it's I only watch the original Sentai, it's because no, Americans can't do anything right, sort of thing.
I will say though, I'm very, very sad Tokyuger is not being adapted into a Power Ranger show. That
Are you
saddens me
sure?
greatly.
Are you
Yeah,
sure
no,
you're sad?
I think yes.
Tokyuger is the one.
I wanted figures.
I'm telling you, it was because they couldn't sell that toy because it has a giant boner. That's the reason.
Yes, boner.
For those who haven't seen it, Tokyuger's primary Megazord features a giant red steam engine that folds out from under its legs up onto its chest. And in episode 3, it literally
Dick punches
its
itself
way out of a coffin.
It's quite magical.
The gift will haunt your dreams.
Yeah.
So,
Apologies if I offended anyone. I don't know how mature our audience is here.
They're all giggling, so I think they're.
We're all good? We're all good with dicks?
All like dicks.
Good.
We're at a Sentai panel. We're all immature. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Well, the reason why they didn't adapt Die Ranger to Power Rangers is because in the first episode, one of the Rangers literally hits the mook in the fucking balls with a
Not
snap.
really. The reason why they didn't actually adapt Dire Ranger as its own series is because they were afraid of, like, oh, we'll have to do the exact same thing all over again and we might lose viewers.
They wanted to keep the suits consistent for recognizability.
That
because
too.
they thought the little children wouldn't pay attention.
To be honest, they probably would.
They were right.
But I do have a good question for everyone. Who here is watching the newest Super Sentai series, Zoologer?
That's the one with the furry suits, right?
Yes.
Yes.
One does have furries.
Well, one of them.
Yes, furry. If anyone is actually interested in Sentai, though, in general, and just doesn't know where to start, I actually say go with the Joodra. It's a very good series, I'm finding.
It is.
It's
very
well
good
written,
so
it's
far.
funny. It has my favorite thing to happen with a Red Ranger, because if you know me, I hate Red Rangers, because they're either... Thank you.
Red Rangers tend to come in two varieties. Either they're the brooding, angsty ones who, I don't know if I can be the leader. Or they're the have fun, happy, wacky ones. The new one, Yamato, is smart. He's interesting. He's caring. He's not an idiot, nor is he an ass.
He's a zoologist.
He's literally a scientist. I just love that they actually got a smart Red Ranger in there for once, who's also a fun guy. It's great.
He's like Takaru, but not boring.
I'd also probably say though Gokaiju's a good start because that's the 35th anniversary of Sentai, and that's where you get a lot. Like they transform into everybody, and if you want like a good sample of I want to watch this or I want to watch that, Gokaiju's a good start. And also the entire team itself are just they're badass motherfuckers.
And unlike Decade, it doesn't blow half their major plot points.
Yeah, but
It might set the bar too high.
Or have 30
You know, that's a
episodes.
genuine concern.
yeah.
But we watched a couple like Showa era series, and there even though we were used to the new stuff today, there's a certain campy charm to going back and watching old shows.
Yep.
Especially Kamen Rider X. My God.
Kamen Rider X is the best thing ever, possibly. Just like, I could watch that forever.
Go listen to our Castrangers review and then go watch it.
Hell, Battle Fever J, which is the third Sentai, has the best transformation sequence ever. The first time they ever transformed, literally, just put on the suits.
They're just outfits that
Yeah, but then, like throughout the
And-
series, when they transform, all they shout out is fever, turnaround, automatically
the
ensue.
Pink Ranger in that show has blonde hair on the suit.
Miss America.
But I like the Battle Fever J suits.
Oh yeah, Battle Japan is like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, but they still don't have any character.
Oh well.
Most don't. Most of the Sentai.
Some
it's a
Vulcans,
Sentai,
some
God,
Vulcans
there's not much
apparently are the
character
most
going
like
on.
praised Showa Sentai.
Indeed it is. A 3-man Sentai where it's like, alright, how many episodes do we need to watch for the plot? Episode 1, okay. Episode 21, okay. Episode 45, yes. And then the rest.
And
The show's
the
only
rest.
50 episodes. So,
Well, they're all in the realm of
7
50.
episodes of plot.
It?
And the rest are just
the rest
Monster of the
is
Week.
just Monster of the Week, fight the monster, battle.
No character development?
No,
They don't need character
No
development.
character
They're such
development
Vulcan.
at all.
it's the 80s.
That's true.
And this
What?
is no,
What?
and this is the series that apparently Stan Lee was considering adapting over in North America.
Bioman?
But then they were like,
Some
no,
Sun Vulcan.
There's this whole thing apparently where back in the day, like this is going back into the 70s, I think.
1981.
Oh, the early 80s, where like they wanted to try to adapt a Sentai or was it a Sentai or was it Toku?
Sentai.
Just another Toku, I mean. Yeah. So Stan Lee was apparently involved at this. So like, how would that have been? Just talk about rewriting history if that had happened.
You want to talk about history and
No,
how?
wait, hold that thought, dude. Because then, if that had happened, it would be under the Marvel name, and you know, stuff can happen. We could have had an honest-to-God Avengers Power Rangers crossover in earnest.
Sentai Civil War.
wouldn't that be great?
No,
Disney did own Power Rangers for a while.
Yeah, it did. Wouldn't that have been something else?
When it came to the to Operation Overdrive, which was a disgrace, but I kind of liked it. It was fun, stupid.
Yeah.
Just turn your brain off, and it's just like, oh, Monster of the Week.
See, that's actually something I'd like to find out too. If, like, obviously it is a children's show, Sentai Power Rangers. Like, at the end of the day, let's be honest. I'd like to know how, like, if it's the same mentality with older generations over there as we have with Power Rangers over here. You know, just like is it more respected over there because it's been with them for so much longer? I don't know. I'd like to know. That'd be an interesting thing to find out.
They said at one point they were just thinking, why don't we just dub the series rather than having pay actors and all that.
Well, gee,
And
I
they were
don't know.
embarrassed to and Linkara said it. They were embarrassed to have Power Rangers.
Acura Ranger.
Akiba Ranger
I would like to
is
see
a
that.
masterpiece.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah, Cube Rangers.
Has anyone seen Kampai Senshi After 5?
No, but I've
It's literally a show about a Sentai team going drinking after their battles, and it's the most emotion-invoking, delightful thing I've ever seen. I have never cried for a villain before until that show happened.
Ichi, you will just fit that into anything, won't you?
He fit that into his sister's wedding.
What?
What?
I don't know, I'm trying to make a joke.
There.
Failing. You lose your microphone.
One of the most interesting things, going back to the relations with Marvel, it's an interesting bit of trivia that the reason we have Megazords in Sentai is because of the Japanese Spider-Man show. Because the Japanese Spider-Man Tokusatsu show had its robot Leopardon,
Spider-Man.
and Super Sentai got its idea for the giant robot from that. So we have Megazords thanks to Spider-Man.
It's an interesting circle when you really start going into the deep lore of all this. Where did it all come from?
Well, to think we got Super Sentai because Amazon got canceled. Kamen Rider Amazon got canceled because it was too violent. Too gruesome for the
So
kids.
their excuse? We'll make a kiddie version of it all.
Just crank it all the way back down.
Let's make a Hero 5
Teamwork.
They're different colors and bright colors and fight evil.
Ishimori. Okay, I have Kamen Rider, and I have Cyborg 009. Let's combine that together and see what happens.
And the rest is history.
And then 2 years later, it got canceled.
Just to bring Kamen Rider into this too, though, I'd like to say, between the two, Sentai and Kamen Rider, I prefer Sentai a lot more. And I think the reason is, Kamen Rider takes itself way too seriously. I like it, I do, but you can't be that serious when you're wearing that. I'm sorry. But Sentai has fun with what it is.
I don't think all of Rider is much more serious because
they have more serious tones, man.
We're currently in the middle of a Rider show that features a character who obsesses over takoyaki and has dreams about it.
Yeah.
Is that Ghost or is that a new?
That's Ghost. That's Alan.
Alan Necron.
Yeah, I like what they did with this character. It's just that it's
Alan's
too
the
much.
best.
It's too much right now. It's like I liked him in the between where he's still trying to figure himself out. That's great.
Yeah, but then at some point you're just gonna have to get over it.
What about
That in
Amazon?
an after movie.
See, honestly,
I haven't watched Amazon's yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Peace out. Thanks for coming. Honestly, that's one of those what if universes I always like to think about though. What if Masked Rider had been a success? What if that had gone on and then we still had Masked Rider today?
We had Dragon Knight in 2009.
Yeah, we don't have it anymore.
Then next
Which
year,
was impressive,
then
actually.
next year we'll potentially be getting the Lionsgate Masked Rider movie.
Could you? Hey, I still say, imagine if this Lionsgate movie's a success, and then they just start bringing in old properties for all the sequels, and you just see Dex enter the fray.
And then Furbus would have been this giant hulking monster.
I think that
What
would
the hell's that? That's my pet Furbus.
release the Furbus.
First movie's gonna be about core team. Second movie's about the Sex Ranger. Third movie, Dex is gonna show up.
Is
it's
that-
gonna be a Batman v Superman thing.
Does anyone care if I bring something up here that's might be a spoiler for the new movie? Does anyone care about that? Just something I know, we noticed in the production pictures. Does anyone care? Do you speak for everyone? Is everyone? Is that okay?
It does.
All right. I came up with a theory. We had this one podcast where we had our predictions for what are they going to do in the new movies, right? I had this prediction because if you look at Rita in the the Elizabeth Banks Rita, she has a very green and gold thing going on here, right? So I had the theory that she's going to be a big bad, but her fighting warrior, her champion, if you will be the Green Ranger, right? And the final battle will be between the Megazord and the Dragonzord. If you saw the new production pictures, we finally got a look at what the Morphers look like. They basically look like crystals embedded in stone. I kind of like that.
Well, those are the power coins.
Yeah, the power coins are embedded in the crystal. Or
I
whatever.
refer to them as the ancient stone power bagels.
There you go. if you look at the production stills on Rita's staff, there's something very similar with a green tinge to it.
A moldy power bagel.
There you go, the moldy power bagel.
If this was a Castranger episode, that's what we would be naming it.
That's what it would be named.
So basically, we have a very strong case for Rita becoming the Green Ranger.
The best thing ever, though, is like, you know, these guys, they always say, so how'd you call that? I'm like, this isn't hard exactly.
There have been
It's pretty simple stuff.
numerous instances of things that we've predicted on these shows, and we're almost like 99% positive that Toei is listening to us at this point.
Yeah, I think we actually do have powers. So.
Kamen Rider Brave did not happen without my influence in it.
Kamen Rider what that I never want to talk about?
X8's gonna be awesome.
No, it's not.
I'm curious.
It's a video game.
Hello, new people.
The next
Come
Kamen
on
Rider
in.
is video game themed, basically.
This
Make
is
them leave now.
yeah. Well, Lane already made people leave.
Oh, I didn't.
Hello,
Hey,
come sit
one
down.
person walked in, then they left.
Come sit down and talk about Super Sentai and Power Rangers and everything that is good.
Oh, okay. See, now you're.
Damn it!
You scared them away.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bluecaster.
Yeah.
Yo, where's your mic?
No, we're here for Undertale, really.
And we're just gonna shut
I'm pretty sure that was Temmie.
That was Terry?
I think so.
Oh, really?
That looked like her.
Oh my god.
That could be racist. Anyone else have anything they want to talk about Sentai
We
related?
can make this like an open discussion, really.
Yeah.
If you got anything.
We're real cash.
Casuals. We're cool. We're hip. We're with it.
Does anyone have like
You're still cool.
Does anyone have like a favorite like Sentai member?
Favorite suit designs?
And honestly, even if you don't know Sentai, just throw out a Power Rangers thing because it's all the same. It's all
We've
it's what we
all
all grew up with.
We've seen every season.
My taste in a lot of things that I like is usually like plain and like really plain and simple stuff. So
And
like,
yet he loves the Burger Morpher.
It's because it doesn't have many toppings.
when
It's very plain.
Retro Sentai Tokyuchi was first like announced and everything, they showed the suits. Like I was a bit at first like that's weird. They like the train track helmets, like that's weird. But then I really grew to love the suits just because like I loved how much color there was on there, and like not like all these fancy chest patterns and like all
What a
these
rainbow.
fancy stripes or anything. They just had like
It's a very
They made the
simplistic
suit
design.
very simple because there were like 25 of them because they were all changing colors.
yeah, and they were rainbow. So
Speaking of suits,
That wasn't an excuse though. The suits
Or
were
not.
bland and boring. Sorry, go ahead.
Speaking of suits, like I find that the line between like tactical and more human looking, for lack of a better term, is always like a big dividing line in terms of what people like. Like what I'm talking about is like you look at the original Power Rangers, Ranger suits. It's like they have the lips. I'm not a fan of that on masks. That's not me. But then like when you get to something like Lightspeed Rescue or anything where it's just a like flat over, that's the stuff I like.
Yeah, I
Right.
know.
But I gotta say, I just my favorite suits, not even from my favorite series. Well, one are any ninja suit. Like Kaku Ranger, Hurricane Ranger, and even a ninja. I love the suits in a ninja. I'm not a fan of the series, but and just I don't know. It's just something about like the way the suits are able, through even with such vibrant colors, they're able to like express like what they're for, you know? Which is weird for ninjas, right? But they're the ninjas that don't bother to hide. Whatever.
And with me, it's
Party doesn't stop party night.
With me, it's like if it has an animal theme, I will love it to death. Like just every single animal Sentai.
That just reminded me of something, and it's an interesting thing when it happens. Like, these are just coincidences most of the time. But when you have a Sentai series that was not so loved in Japan, but when it was turned into Power Rangers, that's awesome. And then the other way around. Like, the best example is, Car Ranger saved Sentai. That's like a known thing. Yeah, Turbo almost killed Power Rangers. But then you got something
I like Turbo, just saying.
apparently, wasn't Gal Ranger like not well received or something?
it was
Yeah, but then Wild Force was like seen as like a coming back sort of thing.
Oh, and then there was Go Under and RPM.
There you go, exactly.
You know what I just realized something. We each like a different trope of suit design. Cell likes the ninjas, Gar likes the animals, Lane likes the vehicles, cause Tokyuger, and I like the dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are animals.
You know what I mean?
It feels like we could come up with like a month of like all these different things.
Now you could all
Just to go off that, with
We
the
actually already have suit designs. I designed the Castrangers suits in Champions Online.
You really can't stop plugging, can you?
No.
I was gonna say actually something like even as a kid, like I was a big dinosaur kid because Jurassic Park, right? When I was watching Mighty Morphin, that even stuck out to me as a kid. Like they're supposed to be the dinosaurs, right? 2 of those things were dinosaurs. 3 if you count Titanus. But like even as a kid, I was like, saber-toothed tiger's not a dinosaur. Mastodon's not a dinosaur. Pterodactyl, some people thought it was, but it's not a dinosaur.
What?
I was like 5.
Wait, pterodactyl's not a dinosaur?
No, they were flying reptiles.
What?
See, you learn something new. Well, it's just misnomers. Technically, dinosaurs shouldn't be called dinosaurs because dinosaur means lizard.
Yeah,
So,
apparently they were giant chickens.
yeah, they
And
were.
our country is named.
And then there was a dragon zord, and I'm like, okay, we're just throwing out everything at this point.
Dinosaur means lizard, then the pterodactyl is a dinosaur.
And then we got a white tiger. And,
The white tiger, but he wasn't actually part
That
of the
wasn't
original
from a
Sentai.
dinosaur
the
show.
ape is the best dinosaur.
The ape is king of dinosaurs, as we'll probably find out after the upcoming
Skull Island.
Godzilla versus King Kong. That's a thing again.
That is a thing.
I couldn't believe it that they're actually doing that.
Please have a scene where he's just shoving a tree down his throat.
No, but yes, but no.
T-Rex's jaw, like in the Peter Jackson.
What,
Keep taking it back.
what pre-Jew Ranger show would you like to see most released in North America?
Pre-Jew Rangers?
Jet
Yeah,
Man.
Okay, sorry, Elaine. I'll do.
Yeah.
It's not pre-Jew Ranger, but I wanted. I wish they would do an honest to God Kaku Ranger install instead of just the Alien. It'll never happen. But
So they did release Calculator Ranger on DVD.
oh wait, release?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like do an old show, like if they had actually used foot. Sorry, I missed.
No. Were you talking about like create a Power Rangers version of?
No,
Or
I mean like release on
See, that's what I thought you meant. Sorry.
just pay attention to Shout Factory. They're doing them.
Show Factory is the best thing ever.
I don't know. Like I asked them about Jetman, they were like, we don't really have plans. So,
Basically, I actually did, just to sound like an awkward person, I did message Shout Factory with a crazy idea of like, instead of doing the Sentai in order, make it a randomized thing, like spin the wheel, let's see what show we're gonna release next. That one.
Me personally, I'd like to see them release Turbo Ranger because that was the Sentai that came out the year I was born, 1989, and it was just like a group of students who were like
Fighting off
high school
pollution.
students who were like, hey, we have car powers.
Don't you love in these series when they try to like tackle real issues like pollution? It's so bad.
Yeah, more or less the
It's great.
monsters like resurrect from the surface because the pollution on our planet is so bad. Let's have a car theme.
What year was that?
Go on.
1989.
Okay.
Also, go on, Jeff.
Go on.
Oh yeah, Go Launcher was about fighting pollution.
And what's what's most of the animal themes about? Saving the planet.
Yeah, that like I mean I loved Wild Force, but like when they went into that sort of thing, I just have to agree with Lewis. Where like
isn't
come
every
on,
show
man.
about saving the planet?
And I guess technically, no. Every show is about every Power Rangers and Sentai is about saving their city block apparently. Because Rita never went beyond Angel Grove. Okay, I would love it in the new movie if like we just get this shot from outside of Angel Grove, just everything's fine.
No, actually, to talk about that Kapai Senshin after 5, like in the first episode, they're like, we're protecting Japan's youth, but they're only attacking one city. Why don't they move to the other city? Yeah, why don't they go to Brazil? The leader of the villains actually looks at plane tickets. Too expensive.
Yeah, After 5 is excellent if you've watched
is funny.
a lot of Sentai because it exposes the hilarity of the tropes of the genre. Akiba Ranger does that also, but in a more direct, let's trigger his flag, his victory flag. Whereas After 5 was like, why is there this? Why do the suits have zippers on the back?
Akiba Ranger's really funny just because like they're an unofficial one, so they like have their morphers, they dream that they're Power Rangers. So I remember there's one episode in season 2 where we find out the Red Ranger, he has like a fetish for female robots.
Yeah, Akiba Ranger is a very adult show, by the way.
So the villain makes a female like anime-looking robot to combat the Red Ranger to defeat him, and it's just the most funniest shit
Akiba
ever.
Ranger is definitely not for kids.
No.
And then, literally, the next episode after, like, the robot thing, they make they take a stab at Power Rangers.
Oh, that's great. Those episodes are great.
Powerful
Yeah.
Rangers.
It's like, Oh, I went to an audition. The director was playing with like these toys. Oh, what was it? Oh, there's Z-Ranger. No, he called him something else. What was it? I don't know.
Powerful Rangers.
It's Powerful Rangers.
I do love in either Sentai or Rangers when they poke jokes at like the respective fields, but I do love too when they actually give them a little nod. You know, just like one of the best ones was it wasn't in Ninja. The actor who plays Koda in Dino Charge, he showed up, didn't he?
Yep.
And it was just so weird to see him there because I didn't know what was happening. Is that Koda?
Yep.
And like I was just half expecting him to like pull out his morpher, join the fray.
That would have been awesome.
That would have fucked everything sideways.
One thing that was really good was in like with Dino Charge right now, we have with the Gold Ranger.
Ivan?
Yeah, Ivan from Xandar.
Oh,
yeah.
Xandar.
They made
The
up a
land of
country.
Xandar is a pun, basically, because
It's-
Shory Goals.
It's not a pun, it's just a reference.
Yeah.
He's from a fictional country named Xandar, but the word Xandar actually comes from the Japanese version of the Ranger Kyoryu Gold because the name of his sword is Xandar Thunder.
And what I love though is my favorite character in Dino Charge is Prince Philip, who's the Prince of Xandar. And like he finds out about the Power Rangers and he's always wanted to be one, so he actually like he finds his own like energy or whatever like that, and then he tries to do everything he can to like earn the right to use the power. So he like donates money and stuff like that, like
I
gets
haven't watched that
clothes
part.
and stuff like
It's
that.
funny looking at all
And
you
he has
guys like
to go
having
to
like a
save
questioned face of like
Chase's
what the
little
fuck.
sister.
Yeah, and all it takes is just for him to go out of his way to save a little girl from danger, and then bam, you got powers.
I gotta say though, the best use of making a little fun, but also praising Sentai was in Dino Thunder, where they basically the whole episode was them watching an episode of Sentai, like the worst dubs you ever heard. But it was just like again, like they made fun of it, but they also kind of like praised it, like hey, it's pretty cool. The weirdest thing, what was the mentor's name in whatever Dino Thunder was based on? Alpha Ranger, yeah. What was his name?
Sadly, I've never seen.
I haven't
that.
watched
Okay, well, the best thing was he's clearly an old Japanese man. In the dub, they call him Old Man Shaughnessy, and he's like Irish or something. Like, top of the morning to you. Whose call was that? I really would have loved to have seen the pitch for that episode. All right, so what are they going to do this time? They're going to watch an episode of Sentai, and then what? That's it. So what?
We Ultraman Tiga that.
I just half expecting it like George Costanza was pitching that. It's the show about nothing.
How do we know when it's over?
It's never over.
It's never over.
I
Don't ever
remember-
stop the Sentai.
I remember genuinely being surprised when I found out that Power Rangers was still going on. Like after like the last one I watched in earnest like as a child was Wild Force, and then I think it was honestly Samurai when I figured out that it was still a thing. Only because like they made a big deal of it. Saban is returning to Power Rangers. I'm like, wait, Power Rangers is still around.
There was
Actually, I'm with you on that. Because I'm like, Samurai, that's happening. Alright, let's see what happens.
There was a lot of marketing when Saban took back over Power Rangers and Samurai was starting.
All in the
Samurai
service
was
of-
bad.
all in the service of a bad show.
It was pretty much unwatchable for me because every time I watched it, I would get something in my eye.
Here's the thing. Shinkendra was amazing because it was very respectful to the Japanese culture from which it was created. Doesn't work so well when you take the exact same characters and the exact same story and put it to an American audience where samurai are not quite as,
No.
a standard.
No, here's what you do with that. Here's what they should have done with Samurai. They should have made the Red Ranger actually Japanese.
I was just about to say that. That could have been a major good thing about the show if, like, this guy's coming to, like, he is American, but his background is Japanese. He's coming to terms with his roots.
His
Hold that
name
thought, hold that
is
thought.
Jaden Shiba.
Which is, like, that could mean anything. But, see, to me it's kind of sad, too, because, like, give Power Rangers this at the end of the day. Like, okay, Sentai doesn't have much multiculturalism because there's just not a lot there in Japan. Here, like, they make a point of making it multicultural in Power Rangers. And I gotta say, actually, it's a lot more subtle and kind of progressive than you'd think. Because I remember watching this episode of Dino Thunder. I just wanted to watch it because, it had Jason. What was the Blue Ranger's name?
Ethan.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Tommy. Jason.
They had Tommy
Frank.
and the Blue Ranger's name was Ethan.
The Blue Ranger was Ethan, right? Okay. The Blue Ranger was Ethan?
Yes.
Okay, there's an episode where he goes on a date with, who is like the reporter girl?
Cassidy?
Cassidy or something. And the fact is, she's a white girl, he's a black guy. They don't bring that up. I love it when they do that. It's a fact of life. It's casual. Power Rangers is actually incredibly progressive that way.
Yeah.
Like they didn't make a deal out of it. It's just two people going on a date. That's all. Yep. And again, just going back to the samurai thing, missed opportunity. You're absolutely right. Just, they could have made in Japanese, that could have been a theme of the show, him coming to terms with his roots, and we could have learned something. But we had to make a mediocre series, so who knows.
Speaking of Samurai's missed opportunities, I call that show a failure just because we didn't get Bulk as Shinken Brown.
He was the spirit of Shinken.
It could have been so easy!
Yeah.
It would have made his whole point... The whole reason he was there was to try and be a samurai. That would have been an amazing way to wrap up his character arc.
I'll tell you
He
that.
had no interaction. He had no weight. Pardon the pun.
Wah,
For
wah.
like
Except for the Christmas
the entire show, he was disconnected from all the other characters.
Yeah, exactly, and that's again missed opportunity there, because the fact is, if there is a saving grace to that show, it's Bulk. Like, I mean, granted, I'm playing with nostalgia on this one,
Absolutely.
but it's better than nothing. And their little reunion at the end,
Oh my god!
just to see Skull somehow got rich.
He
was
sold all
left on
Professor
Earth.
Phenomenus.
He sold all of Phenomenus' stuff while they were off planet.
No, when Phenomenus
He sold-
died, like in his will, give everything to Skull.
No, you know what it is? He wrote a tell-all book about their adventures alongside the Power Rangers.
There's a theory I heard
Yeah.
floating around. You look at Spike in that show. He's a little older than he should be, don't you think? Like, now granted, this is Power Rangers where 30-year-olds are playing 19-year-olds. Like, granted. But this led to a theory that his mother is Kimberly, and that's why she left Angel Grove. that's why
really
she
like that.
left that.
That's probably why he fell in love with the Pink Ranger.
There you go. It's in the genes. Oh God.
I really.
They say it's in the spandex.
Ooh.
No pink spandex?
No,
I love Pink Spandex.
of course you do, because you're a pink caster.
Too much big
Get right,
energy.
it's
Too much
like
big
going
energy.
it's like Shrek.
Too much Pink Energy.
Fun fact: when we were watching the Ninja, we were all enthralled by how much better of a character Kasumi was that we called her Light Red Ninja.
Kasumi is babe.
Yeah. She's a good thing about that.
I love
Now
Kasumi
they're
so
getting
much.
a green female.
Yes, the Ninja movie's out. We haven't watched it yet.
You mean QA Resurrected?
It's pretty much reincarnated QA.
Still
They
waiting.
pulled an oob.
Still waiting on the honest to God female Red Ranger. Still waiting for that. We need it to happen in Sentai first, most likely.
Well,
but still,
Shinkenger
I know
kinda
it happened in
did
Shinkenger kind of, but I'm talking like start to finish. Doesn't turn out to be a bad guy like in freaking SPD.
Yeah.
And spoilers for a 10-year-old show. And just like I would like to see it happen. It'd
Yes.
be interesting.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to see female Red Ranger.
That won't
Speaking
happen
of
for
which,
like
I
another
did
50
That'll
years.
happen when they
Yeah.
make a female lead for Kamen Rider.
Hell.
I just had I spoke about this. I spoke about this on the podcast not too long ago. Again, with like Power Rangers' whole multicultural thing going on, and with the current, Zyuohger, if you don't know, it's basically like they're animals, right? But one of the coolest things I thought was that each animal person, they kind of wear the clothing indicative of where that animal comes from. Like the lion, he's got some very African-looking clothing. The tiger, she's got some Asian stuff going on. And it just occurred to me that if they do decide to make Zyuohger into Power Rangers, which I hope they do, again, they're probably going to do the multicultural thing, and they could even take it one step further, have the characters that are those animals be from those
I can see
areas,
them doing that.
which would make that the first male black Yellow Ranger.
Mic drop.
Drop the mic. This is why we can have nice things.
Lucio as Zuo Lion.
Okay, now I'm picturing it. It's like.
By the way, Lucio's from South America.
I'm sorry.
This is Brazilian, but anyways, no Overwatch here.
Now I'm just picturing it like in the Bionicle movie when all the because they all come from different areas and then they all come together to protect their whole planet.
Yeah.
Boom.
There you go. You just wrote Zyuohger.
Yeah, there. Power Rangers, whatever.
Power Rangers.
Cube Force.
No.
Minecraft.
I am sick of Force in the names. Mega Force.
It's okay, Korea will take care of it for us.
Yes.
Right now,
Mega
Power,
Force
they have
was an
Power Rangers Train
Mega
Force.
Force was an exceptionally terrible title because it's nothing. What is Mega Force?
I'm going to take you on a journey here through Saban's, like the Neo Saban era, where Samurai, okay, they're doing Samurai, that's cool. I check out the show after years later, it's awful. It's awful.
Super Samurai.
Super Samurai is the dumbest thing.
Samurai.
Because of Nickelodeon's 20
But then like, okay, they're making a new one, and Saban's doing it again. Okay, you know, maybe he just needed some time to get through it all, right? Then Mega Force, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Well, that is the most generic title. They might as well just called it Super Team.
My God, was Troy
And then
bland.
Super Mega Force happens, and they're pirates. Why? Fuck you. That's why. And it came to it too, where like with the samurai theme, it felt like a return to form. Oh, they're doing the Power Rangers old school theme with samurai thrown in. That's cool. What do you got next for us? Mega Force, Power Rangers, Mega. It's the same thing. It's the same song again, just they throw in the word Mega Force. So I was literally dreading Dino Charge when it came out. I'm just like, okay, here comes the Power Rangers Dino Charge. That volcano erupts. The drums start playing. I'm like, what is this? It's new. And I love the Dino Charge thing.
The Dino Charge theme is
In
amazing.
a month, it's good.
I'm crying.
I was like, just honest, the second episode.
And they stopped saying their names.
Oh my god.
Oh,
that,
Emily, Mia,
that pissed me off to no end.
Antonio.
Did we need that before? No, I tell you, no. We had white letters.
Also, just ahead.
People can read.
Dino Supercharged does come back August 20th.
Hooray.
Poor Kendall.
It's funny, like the worst,
Yeah,
one of
he
the
is
worst
right.
lines in Super Mega Force era is just like Troy was just, he was a wooden plank.
He was no Captain
But just-
Marvel.
Troy, you
Hey,
Do we go-
no one's Captain Marvelous.
Troy,
Do we go Super? No, we go Super Mega. And it's like,
Troy, you must be the Red
Oh,
Ranger.
shut up.
But I'm the new kid in town.
That's
no, it
usually
was
what
funny. If you watch like a panel or something where Troy's actor's like in it, he's an awesome dude. Like he really is.
Well, here's the thing.
He also
He was
likes
written-
Dragon Ball Z.
Was he just given terrible direction?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
again, like, you know, they're not exactly asking for, you know, Peter O'Toole when we go to Power Rangers auditions. Like, just because someone's a nice person doesn't mean they become a good actor.
Wow, what a weird dream.
This is how a Power Rangers audition goes.
And as bad as Troy is in his acting, the sad fact is that's the guy they kept. How much worse could the others have
No,
been?
no, wait, hold that thought. This is how they cast Power Rangers. Okay, we need you to run and do this. That's it.
Give us your best.
All right, you look like
Stop swearing on set.
you look good looking. Can you act?
You
Okay, you're shit. You're hired.
you tick off these boxes in our race chart.
Samurai forever. Cupcakes are ours.
He's so sparkly.
I know we're kind of devolving into a Power Rangers discussion, but that's what happened anyway.
Sure, next year it's the Power
The
Rangers.
Power Rangers panel. I would actually say probably the best acting I saw in any Power Rangers probably went to Time Force. Like, just had good acting, actually. Like,
Fuck, you're
for
in the
Power
first
Rangers.
episode, man. Jesus Christ.
You want to know the worst part? This is how sometimes our podcasts go. We'll be talking about a certain topic and we'll just end up talking about Overwatch.
Tension, activate.
I gotta say, one of my favorite things to see in a Sentai is when, or sorry, in the Power Rangers, is when it gets something directly translated from the Sentai, like what actually happened there, but it's actually good in both cases. The one I always come back to on this is in, what was it, Lost Galaxy, the Magna Defender? Yeah, his death is the greatest thing in most Toku I've ever seen. Like, and it happens so well in both Power Rangers and Sentai. Okay, and there's this video floating around. You gotta check it out. It's one of the, like, just makes me go, oh, what am I feeling? No, I don't want to do that. Where someone put to the Magna Defender's death the Terminator theme. It works so well.
I need to see that video.
You do. Like, just, I don't know who made it. I think they even re-uploaded one with better audio, but just to see him, like, walk through fire, like, holding his brother or son's, depending which version you're watching, his hand, and you're just like, oh my god.
What was interesting is that in Lost Galaxy, the Magna Defender, like, it was his son, but in Gingaman, it was his brother.
It was his brother, and it's just, like...
It's more powerful if it's his son.
It is, and I'm genuinely surprised, like, Saban just said, you know, yeah, we're gonna make it even worse. And you see him die on screen during the flashback, and you're just like, someone's kid just died on screen. Granted, it's a kid wearing like giant horns.
Like, but
It's a little mini Maggie different.
oh god.
No, I think the best one would actually have to be Time Force ending, where it's like they're fighting off their main villain, and then he's just like, "What have I done?"
And he just gives up.
See, I like in Power Rangers when they make a villain who works like a completely new villain. And for most of the times it works. Like you had Rancic, he was awesome. You know, Vernon Wells, man. When I found out that's Wes from Road Warrior. What? When I found out that was him, it blew my mind. You had him, my favorite villain of all Power Rangers, Mesogog. He was awesome.
Oh my god, he was so
I
good.
love Mesogog just because I love how in your face he was.
He's always like,
I
actually,
need power.
there is something.
And if you looked real close to him, you could see the actor's actual mouth inside of the suit.
I was gonna say, and I feel like that was an accident. Like you weren't supposed to see two mouths, but it just makes it even better.
Yeah.
That he has two mouths.
It's a bomb!
I love Diva Talks.
Underrated because, like, yes, the character herself is not well written or intimidating, but god dang is her actress putting. Who?
Are we talking Hillary Turner or Carol Hoyt?
Whatever
Is there a
the original
difference?
actress was.
The one from the movie in the latter half of the show. Hillary Turner absolutely was a better actress.
No.
Although I did enjoy Carol Hoyt's performance in the episode where she loses her memory and works at a pizzeria.
You would.
What show is this?
Power Rangers Turbo.
Power Rangers
But
Turbo.
one of the most interesting
Go.
things I think about comparing Super Sentai and Power Rangers is one is not objectively better than the other. There are cases in every instance where there are shows that keep the material the same as the original, but good, and then there are ones that keep the material but turn out bad, and then there are shows that change it drastically but turn out good, and there are shows that change it drastically and turn out bad.
See, I have a theory that if anyone is to watch anything in Japanese, right, if they make that decision that they can do that, here's the thing. We don't, most of the time, I'm not saying everyone, but I'd wager that most of us can't really judge acting that well in a different language, I'm going to say. So even though, yeah, like we're watching it, we're more reading it than anything, right? And when you read it, you can kind of make your own thing to it. So in a Sentai, when you're watching that and you're just reading what's going on, we have no idea if that's by their standards bad acting. We know that, you know, like, my name is Trey of Triforia, that's bad acting. We know that's bad acting.
And then you have the Magnum Defender in his nice and booming voice.
10 minutes left, guys.
But yeah, there are examples for every case. Like, I'm just going to run through one for each. A show that was drastically changed from its source material but ended up great, RPM. A show that drastically changed from its source material and ended up bad. I wouldn't kind of.
He wouldn't say Turbo because
I
he loves
enjoyed
it.
Turbo, but like not for the like. I enjoyed it because it was campy and weird and stupid. But then you look at shows that kept their source material intact. A good example of one that turned out great would be Time Force.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at ones like Samurai, where they kept to the material and it didn't turn out so well.
And then you have the in-between SPD, where it's like, it's good, and then there's the bad part.
What SPD had way over Decker Ranger though, that Kruger suit.
Oh my god!
It's so much better in SPD.
Yeah, but
Although, like,
I bet you that was one of the driving factors behind redubbing SPD back to Japanese.
There you go.
How they mistook a freaking swan ranger for a cat.
they said, fuck it. It looks like
She
a
looks
cat.
cat-like.
You know, here's the thing. The first time I ever saw Kruger was actually in Linkara's videos, like just through that, like not even his SPD video, like just the opening where it shows all of them at once. And I thought he was a dinosaur at first, like the scales and everything. So when I was like looking him up, because I didn't know which series that was, I'm just like, Power Ranger that is a dinosaur.
What was the name of the Six
Nothing's coming up.
What was the name of the Six Ranger SPD? Omega Ranger?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought Omega Ranger's like whole concept was so much better than Decker Break's, because Decker Break he was just like a detective from another base or something like that, but Omega Ranger was from the future. And
He was the future version of the kid.
yeah,
they
this
say.
little kid that like Z met or whatever, and I just was
Sam.
like,
He had like the VI on his outfit and made
Yeah.
no sense if he's from the future.
Okay, it's a 6.
Yeah.
6, right?
still I love it though.
I guess they didn't make any more Rangers in the gap between the time periods.
Fun fact.
No, that's why.
break
If in 2050 we do not have Power Rangers SPD.
2025 it came out.
Oh,
It took place
2025?
20
Yeah.
years in the future.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, yeah, 2025, then SPD Do it.
How awesome was like Boom's fantasy version of the orange SPD Ranger with the in space helmet?
I want that as a legacy figure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those new like awesome 6-inch legacy figures make a boom.
Power Morphicon exclusive. Boom, that will sell.
Boom.
No, they get like a special version for Power Morphicon, and then give us like a crappy version for
Oh,
General.
you mean like what they're doing right now?
Yes.
Where they don't have, where the Rangers don't have their signature weapons?
At least they're doing every team, like they promised every team.
They did.
Please,
Fun
yeah.
fact about Kruger, Daggeron's actor.
Oh yeah, he's the mentor from Samurai.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's
That's over.
Wait, Mentor G was Daggeron?
Yes.
No, wasn't he?
No, he was Emperor.
He was Emperor Grum, wasn't he?
Emperor Grum.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he was also Doggy Kruger.
Was he?
No, Doggy Kruger and the Solaris Knight from Mystic Force were the same guy.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daggeron.
Oh.
I'd also just like to put it out there that Toei and Bandai need to hurry up and release a Zuo the World figure art so I can buy it.
I think they're going to.
So the world's pretty awesome.
You know, like speaking though, like those legacy things, those are something else, aren't they?
Oh,
Those are just so cool.
They're affordable figure arts, pretty much.
They need to hurry up and get to like Zeo and Turbo so I can buy a brand new
I'm kind
Super
of
Zeo
upset.
Megazord and Turbo Rescue Megazord.
I'm kind of upset
I love those.
that they're skipping Tor, I think.
No,
Are they skipping
They were
Tor?
actually talking about Tor, and they're like, well, we're afraid that he won't sell because a lot of people don't know.
Most people won't get, like, okay, no, like, looking at it from a business point of view, no, their Tor wouldn't make sense, because it's going to have to be huge, and just,
It'll be
all
$300.
that
Titanus
die
made
cast.
sense.
All that die cast.
And I gotta say, too, like, because, like, I love, like, the Thunder Megazord is probably my favorite, like, just aesthetically, I just love the Chinese motif of it all. Because I've been rewatching all of Power Rangers, all on Netflix, makes it so easy.
Oh, yeah.
And just to see, like, them do that, like, just bad zoom into the Thunder Megazord's chest, and there they are, just in their, like, like Mighty Morphin suits still. It's just, like, badly, it's kind of shaking.
Fun fact, they got Toei to make a lot of other footage with
Yeah,
Mighty
Zoo
Morphin.
Zoo 2.
Yeah.
Zoo too.
My personal favorite Megazord will always be the Astro Megazord, because
AKA the one
I
that's just
had
the
the
ship
toy
with a shuttle.
as a child and I cherished it.
And you're gonna buy all the Space Ranger figures just for the legacy.
Yeah, and once they get to In Space for the Legacy line, Legacy Astro Megazord.
It really makes
Legacy
me,
Mega Voyager.
it really makes me think, like, imagine if, like, this just does become a thing, and they just keep releasing, so, like, 15, 20 years from now, Legacy Dino Charge.
Legacy Dinosaurs.
Yeah, do, what they should do with Legacy.
What franchise would you want to see like Power Rangers crossover with in like a comic form or something like that?
In electronic form?
In comic
Oh,
form.
comic form? VR Troopers. I love VR Troopers.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Beetleborgs fought the Turbo Rangers in a comic.
Beetleborgs was vastly underappreciated. I loved that show.
I was a Mystic Knights fan.
I love that show too. I love them both.
I could not think of something better than, like, the optimism of the Power Rangers clashing with the angst of Batman.
Oh my god.
Power Rangers versus the Justice League.
How great would it be if, like, it was like an animal-themed Ranger series that crossed over with them? Oh, do you have the powers of the Bat? No.
I was gonna say Transformers though.
You know what? Because it's relevant, Power Rangers with Ghostbusters.
Ooh.
Because it's more relevant. Power Rangers with Pacific Rim.
Oh, there you go.
Could you imagine that? Like, just like, I would love
Jaegers
to.
versus Megazords.
Quickly, that's
Kaiju.
another Sentai I really like, Go Busters, and I'm sad that didn't get adapted to Power Rangers because toy sales were bad, and they would be bad. And no one would want a camera gun or a binocular sword.
And since you mentioned Go Busters, we are ending this panel. No, seriously, we are actually done.
Yeah, we're up.
We're just about out of time here. Power Rangers, Super Sentai, whatever you watch, at the end of the day, we all know it's just for fun. So that's what makes it great. It's just like we're in on the joke, I think. Most people don't get that. Most people look at us like when you say, "Oh, I'm into Power Rangers," you just say, "I'm into Power Rangers." Like, why? And if they say I'm into Sentai, wait, the porn? No, like.
Which is
if you're into Sentai, wait, why are you into that? Just because I get it. I'm in on it. We all do. We all are.
And just remember that a true Sentai's power, they get their power from morale. If they believe in themselves and think they can do it, they'll always win.
Part of the
That's
part?
how it is in every single
So just
series.
go find Al and get more of him.
And you want to say something before we end
I
this?
just wanted to briefly plug Castranger again.
All right, go right ahead.
So if you enjoyed hearing us talk about stuff, you can listen to our weekly review podcast. It's called Radio Sentai Castranger. It's on iTunes and Google Play, but we have a hub website where all of our stuff gets posted primarily, which is castranger.podbean.com. All of our stuff will be there, and like I said, we're also in the process of making a video game, which will be posted there as well.
We're also on Facebook.
Yeah, we already have way over 100 episodes, so...
Are you guys on iTunes?
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, you just search Castranger and you'll find us.
We tend to always have a featured topic, and I've said, like, anyone who listens, like, throw topics. We might actually take a look at them.
Yeah,
because we're not just situated just to Sentai and Kamen Rider stuff. We watched the Guyver movie as a topic. That was awful.
Actually, throughout July, we just did an Ultraman theme for like the last 4 episodes.
We do theme months from time to time.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you everybody for being here today. I really appreciate this. Hopefully next year it'll do a lot better.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming.
We'll be sure to call it the Power Rangers.
Yes.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Power Ranger X Super Sentai.
Power Rangers, not so many years and counting.
God, if they ever make a
May the power
Rangers
protect you.
Super Sentai movie, that'll be the greatest thing in the world. That would be weird.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, it's official. Next year we're doing Power Rangers.
Out of curiosity, like on your podcast, have you ever done kaiju movies?
Godzilla.
We're gonna do Godzilla month eventually.
Godzilla month in November.
Okay. Awesome. Because I guess with Sentai and with kaiju,
They go
nothing
hand in
is
hand.
nothing.
We like
is
to
more-
say it's more of a toku fan than anything else.
He's pretty
So-
shocked it did start with Godzilla.
So we're definitely gonna do some kaiju movies in the future.
Was it
no,
Gamera?
But whether it's Sentai or
Thank you
kaiju,
so much.
guys in giant rubber suits
There's an art
smashing models is awesome.
Hell, we watched an episode of Ultraman where